Welcome to day 22 of 100 Days of Python, the Code Along With Me challenge. I'm Bill Mosley, and if you want to find the sample code or the complete listing of the 100 Days of Python assignments, then you can go to my website at bmosley.com/hdp. There's also a link in the notes for this video. Let's get started with day 2. So today we're going to be creating an app that will manage a grocery list. And so we're going to get some practice with managing a list, and we're going to go a little bit deeper into custom functions and some of the things you can do with custom functions. So that's kind of where we're headed. And the first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and welcome the user. And so we'll do a quick little design here, and we're going to make each line 60 characters wide. And so I will just do my usual little method here of doing something simple but giving it a little bit of flair. Grocery list app, and we'll center that in a line of 60. So that'll give me that, and then we'll print a couple lines of blank space here, and then we will want to present the user with a menu. And so I'm going to create the menu here. Here is what we will do there. We're just going to give them the list of options. So main menu, and then below that we will say print one, add an item, print two, remove an item, and then print 3 list items. Okay, and then we will say, let's give it a blank line there, and then we will say str menu equals menu, there we go, equals input, choose option 1 through 3. So hopefully they will enter 1 through 3. And then we will say if str menu equals 1, then we'll do something. Right now I'm just going to put the keyword pass in there so that we can avoid having any errors. Elif, and we'll say str menu equals 2. And again, pass just will avoid any errors from there not being anything. Elif str menu equals, boy, I keep typing that wrong, don't I? There we go, 3. And pass again, and then finally else, and we'll say that we're going to print that isn't an option. Please try again. Now, all of my actual program is going to go into these spaces, and what we want to do is we want to make this a repeating program here. And the reason that we want to do that is because you want the program to continue after they add an item, then they want to be able to add another item or review the list or whatever. So we're going to take all of this and we're going to put that in a while true loop, an infinite loop, and remember to indent everything that goes inside the loop. And then each time they do something, add something, remove something, list items, they will have the option to exit or do something else. So we're going to say str continue equals input and we'll say do you want to do anything else? And we'll say yes or no. And then we'll say if str continue equals yes, and we should make that lowercase. That eliminates anything else. And we're also going to chain the strip method there, which will take off any white space. So we're reducing the possible errors that we can get from people entering the wrong thing. So if they want to say yes, we do nothing, we pass. Elif str continue equals no. Then we break out of the loop. And anything else says print that isn't an option, returning to main menu. Okay, so we'll just send them back to the main menu. And if they break, then we want to say print, thank you for using the grocery list app. Okay, so now we have our menu structure. And while it doesn't do anything yet, we can actually run that. So there is our grocery list app. Let me expand this just a little bit. There we go, grocery list app. And we have our choose option 1 through 3. If I add an item, it doesn't do anything, but it goes back through. Say yes, it goes back to the main menu. So that's kind of the program flow. And it's kind of boring right now because it doesn't do anything. So let's fix that and let's have it actually do some things. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a sample list LIG, so for list of groceries. And I'm going to create a sample list to start with. Apple, or let's say apples, milk, and eggs. Okay, so there is my grocery list. And so let's start with the easiest part of this, and that would be the listing of the items. So we want to list all of the items in the grocery list. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come right down here to this part. We can get rid of the pass now. And I can say list items in the list. Okay, but instead of putting that code right here, I am going to create a custom function that will take the list and actually print them out. So let's come up here and create that custom function. I'm going to put it after I declare that list variable, but before I actually get into the body of the app. So this is main part of the app. Okay, and right here I'm going to declare custom functions. So the first one is going to be def, define list groceries. And I'm going to give that the li main. I'm going to call that my main list. And I'm going to, when I call that function, I'm going to pass it the list and it's going to use that. So it's going to say, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to say li main dot sort, and that will sort the list. It'll make sure it's in alphabetical order before they list anything. And then I'm going to print out that list. So I'm going to use a for loop for str item in li main, and I'm going to print out each item in that list. Print str item. And that's nice, but I want to number the items in that list. And so I'm going to, and actually, you know what, I'm going to save the sorting for later. I'm going to have them already sorted at this point. But let's go ahead and make sure that it's sorted up front here. I could just put them in alphabetical order here, but it's easier just to do this, and that will sort them in alphabetical order before we even start. So we'll keep them sorted at the beginning. And what we're going to do is we're going to say x or int index equals 0. And we're going to say print int index comma str item. And then we're going to say int index plus equals 1. So we're going to add 1. So we'll print that, the index item, and then we'll add 1 to each time. And that will print the list for us. So this little function now is just going to be called right here. I'm going to call it list G, and then I'll pass it the list of groceries. And now I have under this menu item the ability to print out those groceries. So that keeps this part nice and small and streamlined, and then I can very easily print out that list of groceries. So let's go ahead and run this. And the number 3 is the option that I've figured out how to do. So I printed, and now there is my list of groceries. That looks okay, but let's go ahead and exit this program, and let's make it look a little bit nicer. And so I'm going to say print, here is your grocery list. And another new line, and then at the end, print. And we'll print a couple new lines there. I'm going to get rid of this because that's a little bit too much space there. That'll take care of that new line as well. So let's run it one more time and just check this out. Make sure we're happy with how it looks. Here's your grocery list. And there we go. So that's great. It's working the way we want it to so far. And that concludes part 1.